updated my tier list for squad busters according to the recent changes. So in this video I'm gonna ranking all the units and I will tell you which units you should play and which ones you better avoid if you want to increase your win rate at the squad league. And with that said, thank you everybody for being here again, really appreciate it. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe completely for free as we are super close to the 19,000 subs. Before we hop into the video, a little bit of a disclaimer. This video is based on my own opinion and for sure you can have a different one. Feel free to share your opinions down below in the comments because from all of your knowledge, we just can all get better in the game. Secondary, I want to say that this tier list is based for my impressions to the squad league. And I know that there are definitely different metas for solo showdown or for the duo mode. So let us hop right into it, and we are starting off with the lowest rank, the rank D, which we can see here down below. And what should I say, we still have there Anita, a Heavy and a Dr. T, which I simply cannot see any use case for those three units. And newly we got there the Witch. Like, no one is playing the Witch anymore in the squad league, and actually since we got a fixed rotation, I can't see any use for her. As next we are coming to the Sigi rank, so these units are slightly better and I can see definitely one or the other circumstance why you should use this unit, but in general I can't recommend to pick them. We got there El Primo. You may think, hey, El Primo is not too bad. Yes, El Primo is not too bad, but looking and comparing him with the other common units, I'm not really picking him. Yes, aerial damage has become significant better, or not better, but preferred by the players than before the last update. But well, from the comments, I'm not picking the Primo right there, but I can see why some guys are picking him, especially when they don't have the Miner on level 4. Got there furthermore the Goblin, which can be considered, especially if you're not playing a Mavis or a Craig, since it's a good coin deliver. But for those modes where he's insanely good, like Doppelganger, well, they are appearing too less often that I would pick him every day. Same counts for the Royal King. I still think he is slightly better than the Witch, but still not to recommend. And we got there 4 new units. I had to rank down Leon, and you may think, hey, Domi, he's a good unit. Yeah, he causes good damage, he makes you invisible, but from the fact he is a speedster, he is by far the worst speedster out there. And there are so many much better epic units that I can't recommend to use him at the moment. Yep, there are some lovers for him and that's good, but for me, those guys running around invisible while they are not really being invisible are not really a heavy target if I have a Miner and some other speedsters in my squad. Well, Bandit, gems, not really too important to farm. I'm going fully aggressive in, and the fact that there are some bots in the squad league causes that I'm more hunting players than just farming myself. This could change if they would remove bots in the future, and for sure with no bots at all in the squad league, I would definitely change one or the other unit in this tier list. And yep, I had to rank down Bow as well as the Medic. Just comparing them to the other units and the PvP aspect and hunting those bots, I can't really pick the Bow anymore. But if my Barbarian would be 4-star, this decision would be not that easy, but the Barbarian is just too good, even on 4-star. Coming now to the next tier, this is the B tier, and I have something new and fresh for you here, because there were so many units in this tier, I decided from the B tier upwards to have like the middle way, which are pretty suiting good through that tier, and those ones which are closer to the upper tier and closer to the lower tier, to give you an impressions why I did place them in the same tier, but there are still some differences in between the tier itself. And we can see there are many units being still in the B tier, while I think Cold and Mort is a little bit lower rated, while Penny, yeah, with those treasures you can still have a good advantage in the late game, especially because of those keys. She is definitely a solid pick, but not for me personally. Then we got there Chessie, which I had to rank down, since the other rare units, especially those causing aerial damage, are just better at the moment. Everybody, because they can pick their preferred squad, have bigger teams than before the update. And with that, we need more aerial damage. That's why I can't really take that Chessie inside a better tier, but she is still on the upper B tier because some guys use her to build a big squad. And for that I can see why you're playing a Chessie in the squad league. Then we got the Elita one. I had to rank her down, barely can see her. So many other units in the epic tier are better. That's the reason. But I did uprank a little bit the Archer, while I can see some guys or even more guys are playing it because of the aerial damage, which definitely got a buff with those latest changes. Pretty similar to the Frank, I had to uprank him, and he is a pretty solid pick for the squad league if you have him on a decent level, but there are other guys causing more aerial damage. Well, and what should I say, Mavis and Craig ranked down, because for me personally there is no use case of them anymore. Yes, I have the Craig in my team, and yes, I have Craig in my team, but I'm barely playing him, unless it's maybe the Tree Giants mode, and that's why that Craig is a little bit higher rated for me than the Mavis, because the outcome of the farm is pretty much the same. Yes, Mavis has a direct heal, while Craig you have to pick up the heart, but for me the fact that there is Tree Giants where the Craig is doing more damage, we don't have an own mode for Mavis, so that's why there's a slight difference. And for those guys out there, which are more like the farmers, yep, these units didn't get nerfed. For sure, pick them. They are as good as before. Just from my perspective of the damage dealers we need, I have no use case for them at the moment. And I'm focusing fully on killing the monsters and getting my farm with that. If you're still sticking to the farmers, for sure, go for it. And this is still a solid tactic to win. Coming now to the A tier, we already can see there some units sticking inside. The wizard, yep, I leave the wizard there. Aerial damage is more important than before, and I still think the second spell which you can use leads to some crazy plays, and we have seen that as well. While I still think Dynamite is better for the aerial damage, and for sure an Ice Wizard, which are in the upper tier. So I let Wizard being there in the A mill tier. We got there is next the Trader, and for me personally, farming nothing really, but the healing aspect of the Trader is still not too bad. It's pretty good, and that's why I think he is a solid A pick. Then we have I guess for most of you a surprise, but I had to place the chicken there. Why do I place the chicken there? Well, everyone has a Hog Rider in the rotation. If you are that guy being unlucky and not getting a Hog Rider at all, or very late in the game, they can easily catch you. With a chicken and those additional boots, you have a slight chance at least of escaping. And the second fact is, those additional hatchlings, 3 until 4 until its ultra form, and 5 hatchlings in the ultimate form, are helping so much in farming those monsters. And according to this game style, I really like to play the chicken. Furthermore, I've upranked the Optimus Prime here, and you may think, oh, why? They didn't change him. Yep, they didn't change him, but with that more aerial damage, that guy can heal pretty good the team beside your main healer. So you're getting some further gains with a solid tanky unit in the team, which I can see more often getting played. I myself not playing that unit, but I can see many guys out there choosing him lately in the squad league. And well, we got the tank next of that together with Dynamite. Dynamite, the buff, aerial damage for sure, great damage dealer, and one of the best picks in my opinion at the moment. And the tank ranked down from the S tier. Well, the tank didn't get nerfed, for sure. The tank is still insanely good, especially in solo showdown and the duo mode. But I can see here, with that shift of aerial damage and those big squads, not really tank being that good as before. Well, and you think there are still a lot of guys running around with the tank, yeah, but we have seen so many fights where you just can outperform the tank with aerial and splash damage. But there's one thing which you should still consider. If you get a tank early, you can force the other guys that they have a smaller team. And with that, if you're starting to build your team with a tank, you cause a lot of damage already really early in the game, while those aerial damage dealers scale up over time. The more the aerial damage dealers you have, even being fused then, the more damage you're doing. And a tank can single-handedly be extremely good in the early game. So this is still for me an A tier unit, and leading to this strategy focusing the tank is still a good decision. And next we got the Shelly. The splash damage, the push forward leads that I have to place her in the upper tier, and I really like to play her now in addition with the other splash damage dealers. The Archer Queen did drop a little bit in my opinion. Yeah, I have ranked her now in the upper A tier, because that spell is not too good. Yep, it's an expo, it is causing quite a good amount of damage, and she is boosting the attack speed of your ranged fighters. And with the combined aerial damage, she is definitely really good and super close, in my opinion, to the S tier. I could have ranked her also in the lower S tier, but for me, the other ones are better. And we got there already on the upper tier here. Barbarian King, also epic. Ruffs, also epic. And Max, speed is the key, also epic. So I can't place 4 epic units right away in the S tier, because you can't pick too many in each of the games. For sure, she is a really good pick, and boosting your aerial damage, because those units being ranged attack even faster. And at last we have here the battle healer in the A tier, and yes, I have to rank that unit higher while I'm not playing her that often. My main healer is the Poco and will remain it. That guy is so broken at the moment, but in some scenarios, the battle healer is carrying you a lot. If you're getting attacked and are standing at the chest and can open one and pick then a battle healer or even a fusion at the late game, well, this is actually really clutch. Furthermore, the additional HP will be making your full squad a little bit more tanky against that splash damage, which we can see happening lately more often. And on the S tier, for sure, as I mentioned already, we still got the 4 units. For me, be a little bit lower rated, since now 4 guys are playing her and she is still good. And I mentioned already last video that she is more like a lower S tier, but for me it is an S tier unit. Yes, aerial damage, and she is the only unit which causes damage while you are running. So if you don't get your hands on a miner, that is most likely the only way of causing damage to some opponent units, and with that grabbing a ring or some champs. If you have a miner, for sure, combine him with further aerial damage of the dynamite or the ice wizard, and it's just crazy. That's why I have placed the miner there in the top tier, and I can tell you, even on my free-to-play account on 3-star or on the super form, this unit is so good. And that's why it is one of the best picks at the moment. Right next of him we got Poco, and we have seen it many times in the fights. I have uploaded many videos about him. He is so good in healing while you're actively fighting, and that makes him the best healer at the moment. Max also ranked up because everybody got now a Hawk Rider, and if you want to catch the guys, you need some further speed boost, and that's happening with Max. And last but not least, we got there the Wizard freshly in the S rank. Yes, a little bit deficits versus the Dynamite. Dynamite can cause a lot of aerial damage with each hit, while the attack area of the Wizard is a little bit, or the Ice Wizard is a little bit smaller. But that Ice Fan is still so broken, especially with the Super Rage. So that is my tier list. What are your thoughts on it? Please write it down below in the comments. And yeah, if you have any further feedback, also join the Discord and write it down there. I will definitely check it out and maybe do some changes to this tier list and try out some further combination. If I should do also a tier list for the other modes, please write it down below as well. Thank you guys for watching and happy busting.